Mental health. Studies show that drug use increases your risk of mental health, such as depression and anxiety. People with mental health issues also receive a lot of problems. Financial issues. Some drugs can be very expensive. For example, the street price of Mira in Somalia depends on the availability and demand. So if you are dependent on it, you will end up in financial trouble.
Medical treatment. A variety of drugs are used to treat diseases and medical conditions, including cancer, HIV/AIDS, heart disease, and also diabetes.
Some drugs, when abused, make the user become unconscious, go into a coma, and finally die. Like, for example, drugs and inhalant and cocaine. However, not only adults but also children. You can ask how. Mothers who take drugs and depend on it during pregnancy may give birth to babies who are born when already died, and that can cause high death rates in a nation or a country where the people will be in a low population growth, and also poor health of the unborn.
Using drugs will involve a risk factor. The more an individual abuses a drug, the higher the risk of the individual experiencing long-lasting physical and mental health conditions. Hallucinogens are drugs that cause hallucination. Hallucinations are a common side effect of many illicit and prescription drugs. Hallucinations are perceptions and sensations that aren't real to surrounding individuals but feel very real to individuals experiencing them, thus the person who is taking the drugs, the drug dependent. These perceptions or sensations are created within individual minds and will convince them of a reality that categorically does not exist.
Mental health treatment. Psychotropic drugs can be used to alleviate symptoms of mental health treatment, such as depression and anxiety.
Addiction. This is the habit that emerges when a person cannot do work without that drug. He cannot do the work without that drug. He wants to lie on that drug. That's what an honorable was asking. If I am going to sit for a final exam, I need to use a drug. Why do you need to use a drug? Yet you have your mind. You can read your work, you can pray, and you can revise your work. All the work which is coming in the exam, you have it in your book. Why do you need to use a drug?
Individuals who are having drugs in their body can make a wrong decision that can affect someone else or a nation.
Drug dependence should not be abolished because they create research and job opportunities. With the rise in drug intake, more and more manufacturing companies are coming up with hundreds of job opportunities. Research scientists are also on the lookout to find something better than what exists.
People who abuse drugs do not attend schools, and parents waste money by paying their school fees. For example, a student who addicted drugs, he or she cannot stay with his fellow learners because he wants to get out and take some drugs to feel better.
People will still use drugs, even if drugs were completely prohibited. It is unlikely that people will stop using them altogether. Humanists have been using ban-altering substances for thousands of years, and the desire to alter one's consciousness is a fundamental aspect of human nature. If drugs were prohibited, people will simply turn to other methods of altering their consciousness, such as alcohol, tobacco, or prescription drugs.